what is a joint venture?
It's an agreement between two or more parties to pool their resources for a specific real estate investment. So everyone has skin in the game, saying the management decisions, whatever it may be. So it's, I guess you could equate it to like a marriage. So everybody,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, everybody has their roles that they need to fulfill. So that's really what it boils down to.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Real Estate Roundtable with MRTG Capital. I'm Tom Goodge, and as always, joined with my friend and business partner, Mike Rohm. How's it going, brother?
Doing well.
Nice.
Glad to be back for another episode and sharing knowledge.
Absolutely. I mean, if I think about it, this is like one of my favorite parts of the day now. Us hanging out here, the only thing that we have to worry about is dropping some awesome knowledge bombs on the people listening.
Absolutely.
I can handle that.
Yeah.
So good deal. So yeah, we're going to continue our trend today. So Mike, we're going to be talking about the differences between joint ventures and syndications. I know that there's a lot of people out there that, especially if you're new to real estate investing, I'm sure you've heard the term joint venture. And obviously, because you've been listening to us, you know about real estate syndications now. So we want to just break down just kind of a little bit of the nuances between the two. So how about you kick us off, Mike? I mean, so let's first just get into what is a joint venture.
Yeah, absolutely. So simply put, joint venture, a lot of times you'll hear people say, hey, I want a JV on this deal, whatever it may be. So it's a joint venture. It's an agreement between two or more parties to pool their resources for a specific real estate investment. So everyone has skin in the game, saying the management decisions, whatever it may be. So it's, I guess you could equate it to like a marriage. So everybody,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, everybody has their roles that they need to fulfill. So that's really what it boils down to.
Nice. I like the marriage analogy there. Absolutely. Right. And with a syndication, if you've been following along, it's different in the sense that, this is not everyone being active. You have two sides of the syndication realm, right? And in a syndication deal, you have the general partners who are the active side of the partnership. And then you have the limited partners who are passively investing. And the difference there from a syndication perspective, when we think about laws and when we think about financial, a syndication is, you're creating a security. We talked about this in a previous episode, but just the quick rundown there is, if we, Mike and Tom from MRTG Capital, have done our due diligence on a deal, and now we went and we are going out to our investors and saying, hey, take a look at our deal. We've created a security. It's something that you haven't done anything with. You are going to be passively investing in, but you're still obviously wanting a profit. So that's a security, and there's rules that the Security and Exchange Commission has us abide by. And that's, from a syndication side of the house, there's reasons as to why. But from a structure perspective, there's two different sides. But what about from a joint venture? Why would someone, obviously a syndication, we could talk about the whys, but for a joint venture, why would someone want to do that?
Yeah. So really it's instead of doing the deal solo, maybe someone has more expertise in one field, maybe it's the construction side. So I'll just equate it to a real estate deal, maybe a partnership for, I don't want to say partnership, a joint venture for apartment complex, whatever it may be. Maybe one side of the house, one of the people in the joint venture understands more about the construction sense of things. Maybe another one has the property management side. So it just depends what their expertise are and why they're doing this deal. So each person's coming to the plate with something, I would say, unique and able to handle from their side of the house. So that's a good thing with a joint venture. You're all actively handling the business sense of things and handling that investment. So
that's right. And I mean, just think about this way then too. Not everything needs to be structured as expensively as a syndication then as well, right? If there's only four of us, I mean, Mike and I belong to a lot of groups. We network with different groups, different individuals, and you hit the nail on the head, right? Like there may be a team member who is new to real estate investing, but they're awesome at underwriting and they found an amazing deal, right? So their company's like, hey, you guys at MRTG Capital want to do a JV with me on this deal? He goes, I found it, but like we all come together. I have these strengths. I have money, right? Bring your, the capital that you have. Let's do this together.
That's where the know-how, there's people who come to us and that's what it is. I mean, they might have a deal through the network that they're in, maybe we haven't heard of, and they brought the deal, and we can partner together because we have the know-how, we have the knowledge to do it, what needs to be done. Evaluations are completed differently, but hey, they had that resource and that contact to make it happen that we wouldn't have been able to have. So that's one sense of things. And again, someone else might say, hey, this building is pretty banged up and I know how to fix it up, but I don't know how to make it happen.
Right.
So, what's the outlook? What's it need to look like after it's fixed up? I can make it look pretty, but does it need to be a single family? Does it need to be a duplex of 5 units, whatever it may be? There's a lot more to go into it than just knowing how to do the work. So it's kind of full picture of why people will JV together on certain deals.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's, one scenario that we look into, and from a syndication one, it's the tale as old as time. Is that how you say it?
That sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds right. I have 2 daughters. I should know that a little bit better, but I mean, you have plenty of people out there say, listen, I want all the benefits of real estate, but I do not want to come to you and say, hey man, I want to be the one that fixes a toilet, right? I don't want to deal with tenants, right? All of that stuff. I love the idea of real estate, but you lost me at having to deal with any of it. Right. And that's where real estate syndication comes into play, right? There are plenty of people out there that say, listen, I have lots of money. I want to make sure that I have a great retirement. I want to make sure that, I can grow my wealth now and I want to put it to work, but I don't want to be the one who is going to work. And then that's why the syndication has 2 sides of the house. You have the general partners who are doing all of the active work. And then you have the limited partners who are able to have their capital work for them and then get all the benefits, the same benefits as the general partners as it relates to real estate, meaning all the tax benefits, the depreciation that's shared by the general partners is shared equally with the limited partners then as well. In addition to that, then they're also able to take advantage of the cash flow, right? The cash flow, we talked about that. That's the net operating income, or what's left after all of the bills are paid, the mortgage, the property managers, everything. That's the cash flow that's coming in, and we pay our investors quarterly for that. But then in addition to that, the appreciation, right? They're able to take advantage of the appreciation. That building is gaining value every single year as the tenants who you as a limited partner are not having to deal with are paying down the mortgage. And then that building that you bought for $5 million or you invested into that cost $5 million, a few years down the line is all of a sudden being sold or refinanced for $8-10 million. And the limited partners are able to take advantage of that when that exit takes place as well. So a syndication has its place, but as you talked about, the JV has it as well.
Absolutely. And it usually seems like the JVs or maybe a smaller deal. Syndications are obviously higher values. You're pulling more people together to make that happen. So, seems to be true so far for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny. It's all relative to what's a small deal, right? Mike and I are not there yet in the billionaire club by any stretch of the imagination, but we do get to meet. We have the great pleasure of meeting with those who are, and they play at a much higher game. So their joint ventures are hotel deals that are, $20-30 million a pop. And they're coming in and pulling their resources together for that, just a few different people.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know the one thing we mentioned before, the JV deal is like a road trip. Everyone gets a say where you're stopping for food or, something along those lines. Everybody gets a say so in it.
You've had some good ones. You said that earlier too. That was awesome. So Mike, he's just zinging them today. The marriage, and then you said earlier, it's like everyone gets a say for the food if it's a joint venture, which more often not that's the case. But I did come back and I said, well, if you're on the road trip where everyone gets to decide for the food, I was like, our real estate syndication is a cruise ship then, where we're the cruise directors taking you to an awesome destination. So
that's it. You sit back and you enjoy it. I like it.
good stuff there. So no, that's awesome, dude. That's pretty much what we had for today.
Yep.
So I mean, just as always, we appreciate you, and we're going to continue to bring just little nuggets here and there, just like that. We have some that are lined up for you, some great topics. We have some people that we're going to interview lined up as well. So we're super excited. So stay tuned.
All right.
You got any other awesome nuggets for us before we?
I not coming to mind right now, but
Marriage one, I love it. I'm going to use that, by the way. I'm going to steal that.
No, I'm just glad people were able to come and sit in with us and how we banter back and forth.
Absolutely.
This is how we are, and again, so able to share some knowledge that we have going through up here, because there's a lot more. But like you said, we definitely have. We're going to be interviewing some people with some more expertise that we have. Just trying to get it all out there. Keep people informed.
Absolutely. Well, hey, stay invested and stay informed. I think that's a zinger that you use often. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much.
If you would like to connect, please head on over to MRTGcapital.com and request time to meet with us to answer any questions you may have about real estate investing through a syndication. We partner with small groups of investors just like you, and we're always reviewing deals that could be of interest to you.